It's really interesting to study some of the stuff in the Irish annals. They're a bit overlooked in terms of sources for information on the early Viking raids, but they're actually full of lots of quite detailed information, comparatively for that time. The Irish monks were a bit more kind of c'est la vie about it, a bit more blasé. They came, it happens, so what? Whereas the English monks wrote of it as if it was a punishment for everyone's sins. We brought it on ourselves, that kind of thing. Despite this kind of blaséness from the Irish monks, lots of the details suggest quite a violent time. 794. Devastation of all the islands of Britain by the heathens. Destructive raids on the area. 798. The burning of St. Patrick's Isle by the heathens, and they took the cattle tribute, and broke the shrine of Ducona. In the 40 years that followed the initial raid, or not the initial, but the first recorded raid on Lindisfarne in England, in the 40 years that followed that raid, there was only one other recorded raid in England. But yet in the Irish annals there was 30 recorded raids in that time period. So it would suggest that in Ireland there was a lot of quite violent raiding and pillaging going on the part of the Vikings. They've not found a huge amount of evidence for this. They've not found lots of burials or injuries to non-Vikings, to locals there, to the Irish, from that time period that would suggest a time of violent death. So it doesn't kind of add up. So I was watching this Viking documentary on YouTube the other day, and it's about 4 hours long. I'll put the link under the video. It's awesome. It's really comprehensive and loads of cool sources and finds and things like that. They had a guy, an archaeologist, who had an idea, a theory about this. So basically in Ireland they've found thousands of these kind of tunnels under places where people had been living, And at first they thought they were for storage and things like that. But this guy's theory is slightly different. And to explain it to you, I'm going to have to take you to a cupboard under the stairs. Why am I in the cupboard under the stairs? Ignore the Sainsbury's bag. Well, basically, these tunnels, if you imagine like a kind of Neolithic burial chamber with a really narrow entrance, very low ceilings, just kind of like a crawl space. And the idea was that the people would hide in these tunnels under the village, under the farmsteads, things like that. Because with such a narrow entrance, if anyone came down, it would be really impossible for them to get through without basically dying. This is my hole. Back the fuck up. I'd need just a spear or a sharp sword or something like that. You could effectively protect the space and stay in there. So what they would do, the locals in that part of Ireland would hide down here and just let the Vikings go to town up above, if they spotted them coming early. So that could be why we haven't found lots of archaeological remains in Ireland of the early raids of people dying, basically. Viking slaughter. You may take my townstead, but you'll never take my hole. Small anti-Viking chamber for rent. No amenities, not spacious, no bathroom, no bedrooms. But it will stop you dying. Fuck is everyone? So I guess what you've got is almost like an anti-Viking protection chamber unit. It's a fucking safe room. Is that a thing? Safe room? Yeah. Jodie Foster? Safe room. Invented by the Irish to use against the Vikings, maybe.